All right, what we're going to talk about today is our left-hand chords, left-hand movements, and what you can do with your left hand whenever you're playing gospel music. Now, there's a couple things that I want to show you, and there's a couple of different approaches that you're going to take. When you have a fast song and a slow song, obviously the way you would do your left-hand chords and your left-hand voicing is going to be completely different than what you would do it for a fast song. I'll take something like, I'm going to take a couple songs that may reference back and forth. Dwayne Woods, Let Go, Let God, and what's the other song? Grateful by Hezekiah Walker. So the way you would do this, right? Let's say we take a song, all right, since I have it up here, Let Go, Let God, right? And whenever you play the song, right, you may just play it, you know the chords are going to be a 1, 2, 3, and 4 chord movement. Then we go to the minor 4 and all that, right? So a lot of times as a beginner, you're not going to be sure what to play in the left hand because you learn that the bass is in the left hand. And a lot of people, it depends on the style of the gospel musician, how they play. They want to do a lot of rootless things, meaning that chords that where the root isn't necessarily played in the chord at all. It's literally rootless, or the root is moved to a higher register on the keyboard, and they're just playing like a lot of things. People say leaving room for the bass player. Yeah, it's not really necessarily true, because things can be EQ'd a certain way and can sound a certain way. You can play left-hand bass and it sounds good. Anyway, as you play this, though, your bass, the point of it is to give the chord its characteristics or the harmony. It adds harmony to chords. All right, obviously, if I play this chord here and I have the same thing on my right hand and I change over to my left hand, I say, I'm going to do this. It's a completely different bass, completely different harmony. Different harmony, different harmony, different harmony. The harmony changes every time I change the bass note. But we want to move beyond just, okay, well, the harmony is new, but what else do I play? Because I'm tired of just, running the bass line. You got to remember, you have two hands. And a lot of embellishments, a lot of things you hear people may do, they're going to play with two hands, but it's going to be in their right hand. So the way that is, let's look at Let Go, Let God, right? I'm going to go ahead and just kind of play that a little bit. I don't want YouTube to come through and be like, you can't play this because we're going to give you a content ID strike and blah, blah, blah. Hey, whatever. You're supposed to use this to teach, but YouTube be having issues. So here we go. All right, so you have this, right? All right. It's very simple. All right. All right, before I get hit with the strike. So that's basically it, all right? What a lot of beginners do, though, they'll do something, they'll hear this, okay, I know what the chords are, right? So they'll play the song the way they learn the chords. So it'll be like, if they learn this position for A flat, it'll be, and then you'll have this again. And this is the position that they know for D flat. So the melody is all over the place. And you've heard people say, hearing me say, you got to keep the melody on top. Melody is the most important thing. Melody on top. Yeah, there's truth to that. It's mostly true. All right. I don't want to limit you to what you're doing, but you'd want to keep a melody on top, because this song is like, all right, you could play that. So but you could also just do a melody, like this, like 1, 2, 3, and 4. Or you can do 3, right? 4, 5, 6. It works the same way. So that's your first thing, and that's important to your left hand, because you have to understand the chords that you're playing in your right hand. You're going to kind of play them in your left hand when you're playing the slower things. So let's get this foundation here. So. All right, let's go back up a little bit so we can show you this part here. So, all right. It doesn't matter that the melody is not exactly what's heard on the recording or whatever. It's a melody, okay? You want to kind of play something recognizable, especially if you're trying to, key somebody up or whatever, or you're playing behind somebody like in a worship set, so you can kind of give the character of the song, because the melody is what makes the song recognizable. When you're playing your chords and stuff, sometimes you're just playing talk music. I'm playing songs a lot of times, but I'm just changing the melody up slightly. But that all gives you options for your left hand for what to do. So now we have this, right? So what you could do, right? Instead of playing, you have this chord here, A flat major, right? And a lot of times what we could do with our left hand is double up on the bass. Same thing, you can double up like this. Or what I like to do is play what they call, what's known as, what I know as power chords, a root and a fifth, right? So I'll do this, a root and a fifth, and I'll do another root on top of that. Okay, so I have the root on top, the 5, E flat, and this here. So then I have room for this. So now I have my first chord in my left hand. So now I freeze up my right hand to do things because the melody is here, right? It's pretty low. It's a male voice, right? Dwayne Woods. So, and my next chord is going to be this. Instead of playing this and just, just doing this, I can extend because I'm going to play the chord, right? So just get it off my thumb on my right hand and play it here. All right, and I'm gonna do, it's gonna be a minor 7 chord, right? Normally a 2 chord is a minor 7 chord. So I have the root, the 5th, and a flat 7. Okay, and I can continue that trend. So, all right, we'll do this. So I have this, or this. So. So what I'm doing here, I'm just saying 1, 2, 3, 4, but now I'm taking the chords and I'm extending them. But the extension would be, for example, the B flat minor. I'm playing this B flat minor 7th here. The A flat, you can play 2, right? A sus2, right? But you can spread it out. When you spread out the chords and the harmony and stuff, it sounds a lot like a guitar player. Especially when you do something like this, like take a 1 chord. All right, so they're just playing a regular, vanilla 1 chord. You can do this. All right, I love the way this. It's so warm sounding. This major 7 sounds like I should put a tip jar right here and have people drop dollars in it. Because I just love that major 7 sound. Right? It's a 1, 5, and a flat major 7th. Right? So you have this. Right. And then. So then you have this scale here. Okay. Or this. So when you have these different scales, just like you have with the major scale, you get a lot of options. So again, you open up your left hand. Now, this, you're playing the chords in your left hand, what you would normally play in your right hand, and it leaves you options. Those kind of things and those embellishments are because your right hand is freed up from just playing static chords with your left hand playing the bass line. I'm coming down a little heavier, right? Now, on that, I might have to take that out, I don't know. But I'm coming down a little heavier on that part. The point being here that now I'm doing a lot of doubles. When I get to a bigger part, I'm less concerned more about harmony than I am about, like, we're keeping the melody and stuff, and the melody has to be right. The harmony is there because the harmony is going to be supported by the bass. So I can do things like this or this. All right. Right, whatever, right? And so that's when you open it up, and you see a lot of keyboard players doing this. And even if you have a bass player, it doesn't mean that a lot of churches and things like that, they may EQ the keyboard and kind of cut out the low end so it's not too muddy. So you have a lot of harmonic options. But even if they don't do that, you're playing by yourself. It doesn't mean, and you have a bass player, it doesn't mean you can't play it. All right. A lot of times it'll complement it. You don't want to live there and just be banging away and going crazy on that end. But when you get to bigger parts of the song, it's almost like you're playing a faster song, because everybody knows, a fast song, whatever, right? You're playing a fast song, and everybody knows how that works because you're playing the bass line, you're by yourself. But when you're playing with somebody else, or even playing by yourself, and you're playing a slow song, remember, when you get to that drive, that push, you can start doing like the root and the 5th and the root and these different things, in your left hand. And then now you leave your right hand for the chords, just for the chords, because you have the rhythm going, the song is being driven forward. But as you slow down, if you come out of that now, all right, like slow. Shoes off. Oh, grateful, right? Grateful. Hezekiah Walker. Grateful. All right, I'll do things like that. All right, don't be jealous of my voice, but anyway, I'll be doing things like that, right? And just to build it up. Okay, but I'm still kind of doing like the harmonies there because I'm looking for this sound. Just like when I played the other part before with Dwayne Woods, I'm looking for this sound, this harmony here, right? I'm looking for this harmony here as well too. But I can do that and still get it and not play the play that in my left hand. I can still open it up. But it depends on what you want to do. Remember, when you're playing slower songs, in the beginning, the harmony is going to be supported by the left-hand chords. Your melody is going to be played in your right hand. Not exclusively. It's not a hard and fast rule, but it gives you room for embellishments and for playing melodic lines. When you get further along in the song, and the song is more rhythmic and it's driving a little bit more, even with a slow song, now you can start using your block chords and your chunky chords and things like that and playing a supporting bass line. And then you can kind of switch back and forth. Or you can have a hybrid, like, I'm playing these chords here, for that part that builds up. And that's essentially how that will go. Now, speaking of practice, if you haven't checked out gospelprogressionsuniversity.com, you need to head on over there and download your free guide. I'll also leave a link in the description to the course that I released just some months ago. It's called Gospel Keyboards for Beginners 101. Now, if you don't know anything about this stuff, I go through everything super slow from beginning all the way up to intermediate level. It'll definitely get you to where you need to go if you don't understand some of these things. And also, I'm going to be releasing my course coming out soon with Praise Break for Beginners. So stay tuned for that. And yeah, we're going to talk about that and that community as well pretty soon. I'm excited about it. God bless you, and I will see you in the next video.